Hey guys, Mark from Blue Sea Bushcraft and Outdoors. Well, the hunting season went well if you watched that portion of my channel. Now we're going to move into hot tenting. I've got two new products coming. The one tent, it's going to be the Hussar 20 in smoke blue, how fitting for my channel, Blue Sea Bushcraft and Outdoors. That'll be on its way soon. I don't have that. But the other portion of it is this, the Ti 0.6, I guess it stands for 0.6 millimeter. That's what the titanium is on the stove. I purchased this one off of Amazon, and they don't list it on their website. There's similar ones on there, but this exact stove isn't on the Pomoly website. So I'm not sure if this is something they just put on Amazon, or they're getting rid of old stoves and this is something they're putting there. But it is a nice stove. I'd already took it out and took a look at it. When it comes though, it comes up really nice packaging. They have everything wrapped. All the little pieces are in individual boxes. Comes in this nice padded foam, so you don't have to worry about it being damaged when it arrives from Amazon. And that came within this box, so they do package it well. Anyway, let's get into this review. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. It came with this nice case. This is awesome. I've got the Dweller Max Ti stove, and I also have the Alte Winter stove. They're both titanium as well. I love those stoves. This is kind of like a lighter version. I wanted something lighter that I had to backpack. That's kind of why I picked this one up. So my Alte Winter stove is kind of in the same packaging as this. Kind of goes this way. So you got your get it out here, damper. Typical damper. And it screws on the top. Take those nuts out, screw that down, and you're ready to go with that. Comes with the titanium stovepipe, which you got to roll. I'm going to roll that in a minute. See how that goes. I've had hit and miss on that. And then you got your spark arrestor here. You can tie it out so it doesn't fall on your tent and burn it or cause any other fires. And you got the stove itself. They come with these nice little Velcro straps to hold it all together. So to put the damper on it, like I said, you just unscrew these. They take a minute. And I have dropped one of these in the snow before. It's not fun when you lose it. Unfortunately, this stove didn't come with any extra pieces. I think it was my Alte Winter stove. Came with some extra pieces like this that if you lost it, you got an extra. But fortunately, this one doesn't come with anything extra. Not that I saw. There, that's on. The only thing I wish this had is the piece that goes on here that restricts the flame from going up the pipe. It holds a little more heat in the stove and that. Fortunately, this one does not. It would fit here and goes over, covers this over here, but this one doesn't have that. Anyway, it is what it is. And it is reinforced. I'm not sure how much this one will warp. And all titanium will warp to some extent. So you're never going to get away from that. But try not to burn your fire too hot, and you'll avoid some of that warping. And it looks like you can put the side shelves. This one doesn't come with them, but I have them for my Alte. So they fit in those, and it's on the other side as well. I put that ring on there. Those just use like a key ring. And that's good for when you're trying to open it when it's hot. And I always hold on to this foam that it comes with. It just protects the glass. This has one side glass. So this is like a folding stove where my Alte, they're slide-in pieces for the sides. So you put that up like that. Get that over. That one goes in. That one goes in, and it'll be the same thing on this side as well. Open up the legs. There's something typical on the bottom like this. And while I got it here, you can see this is reinforced as well with these. Like I said, it's 0.6 titanium, so it does flex a little more compared to my 1mm titanium stoves. But like I said, I wanted something a little bit lighter to drag into the field and backpack with if I wanted to go that option, or even just to carry on my quad for winter camping in certain circumstances. And those just close up there to hold the top on. There you go, she's all done. Call to see that's your spark arrestor, and there's the pipe. We're gonna roll this now. All right, guys, one thing about titanium stoves, before you burn them in, unless you want your permanent handprints in them, because when you burn these in, it'll stay. So just take, what I do is I take a little bit of Windex. Never hurts anything, never hurt any stove I've done so far. And you wipe them down with this, and it'll take your oils off that from your hands that transferred onto it, because like I said, if you don't, it'll be on here for good. There we go, she's all wiped off. And like I said, this stove is nice with the glass on this side as well. There you go. Anyway, no fingerprints left. All right, guys, it's time to roll this pipe. This is always fun. I'm not too bad at it, but I mean, there is a trick to it. I bought this 2-inch pipe. I'm gonna roll it on that and see if I can do a better job without crinkling the crap out of it. You should wear gloves with this. These new ones they give you are actually a lot nicer. These are cut level 5, it says, and they got the Pomoly label actually on them. There's the rings, obviously you slide over it, and what you do is I'm gonna roll this out and you roll it backwards on itself so it flattens it right out, and I'm gonna put a little piece of tape on and see if I can roll this pipe to perfection this time. I mean, they get dented up over time because it's very thin walled, but let's see what we can do. All right, so what you do to get this started, that's just your constriction ring that holds this all together. It's smaller than the other ones. You could save that for something, I guess. I heard roll it down under the deck. Anyway, so what you do is you take this and you roll it the opposite way. There's lots of videos on YouTube how to do this, but this just takes some of the memory out of it while it was rolled up. And then you hold it for about 20 seconds after you get it all rolled the opposite way. This is the, I think it's 9.85 or 84 or something. It's like odd. It's not like 10 feet exactly. It's a little shorter. I have some of their solids stovepipe, which I love, compared to these. One of my very first ones, I actually tripped, and it wasn't fun. I bent it over. Still worked after, but it looks like crap. But yeah, you just kind of hold it this way for about 20 seconds to take that memory out of it, and it'll come out pretty flat, and then you can work with it on here. And I'll let this sit for another second or two, and then I'll roll it out the opposite way, and you'll see it'll look pretty flat. And then we'll try to work it onto this pipe. You can do the old twist method. I've seen different ways to do it. Some people slide it on just like this and then they roll it down a pipe, twist it, but I found my most successful seems to be if you either put it on a pipe or a pool noodle. So that's one good way to do it. All right, let's roll this back out. And as you can see, it's flat. All right, guys, so you get 9 rings with it to put around it. So what I did is I just took some masking tape and put a couple pieces along this, and I'm gonna obviously roll it, and then I'm gonna slide these rings on top, and then somehow I'm gonna try to get this pipe with the tape off and then slide it off, and then I'll burn it in. Anyway, here we go. All right, this is always, like I said, difficult. I got my neighbor here, Austin, he's gonna give me a hand. Just a sec.
Yep.
We're gonna have to work together and roll it down underneath. Hold it like as far over as you can. Get those about a foot apart. All right, she's done with minimal crinkling. And you slide that out, and that masking tape comes off really easy. There'll be a little bit in there to burn off, but there you go. Pipe is done. Time for burning. All right, guys. So, like I said, we got the pipe done. Minimal wrinkling. These edges always seem to get the worst of it, but overall, she's in good shape. Now, if I keep this one like this, that'll be good. So, where is the spark arrestor? In here. And I always guy these out, but there's no wind tonight, and we're just going to burn it in here anyway, so. There we go. There you go. And then all you do is just cinch it down with this ring. That took a second. Okay. All right, let's get the fire going. All right, guys, time to get this thing burned in. Got some nice birch bark here. Got a little small pieces of kindling I split sitting inside there. All right. Amazing how fast birch bark goes up. All right, make sure that damper's open in the back. I got her wide open in the front. And the nice vents on this control the burn, open and closing that, and then also the damper in the back. The other thing I was talking about earlier is the baffle that's in my other stoves here. I find it better for like for the pipe and like for loss of heat. It's a little better and better burn, but unfortunately this one doesn't have the baffle inside here. Anyway, we'll get her going here. It doesn't take long for the hues to come in on the stove once it starts to burn in. You get those beautiful colors that come out. This is the only part that I think would be a little bit concerned if anything ever fell out on any mat or anything, would be these hinges here. You can see the fire in between those hinges. So I'm not sure if that'll be a concern later on down the road, but we'll see. Well, I've got a real nice patina color coming onto the stove now. Just stocked it up with some more wood again. She's getting real hot. Thank God it's not windy. I didn't, like I said, guy out the chimney pipe, but that's turning a nice patina color as well. She's burning nice and hot now. I think it'll be a good little stove. Well guys, this is burning in real nice. I can't wait to get the Hussar 20 tent to pair it up with and do the review, the other portion of this with this stove. I can't wait, it's going to be awesome. Hopefully it arrives this week, if not by next week. So a couple short little specs on this. I paid $375.42 with the nice 15% Nova Scotia tax, Canadian. The stove is 4.85 pounds. And it is 15.4 by 11.6 by 8.7 inches. Hey guys, Mark from Blue Sea Bushcraft and Outdoors. Well, I did the portion with the Ti 0.6 stove there from Pomoly, and now I have a new tent. It arrived this week. It's the Hussar 20 Tipi tent. It's a single man teepee. You might be able to jam two in it, but I would say from what the description is, it's a one-man teepee, and I wanted a smaller one to take on the trail with me. Anyway, let's get into the review of this new tent. So guys, I've never set this tent up before. I'm setting it up totally green. The tags are still on it. I bought this with my own money. I wasn't sponsored by Pomoly. I got the pole. It goes in here. I think that comes with it actually. But I got the inner tent and the floor as well. So we'll see what that looks like. But they came separate packages, but I managed to get the inner tent in the same bag that the tent comes in. So that's good. And it's not very heavy. You can easily throw that on a backpack. And that stove is really light as well. So that's kind of why I picked these. They're lighter. If I had to backpack into somewhere, I can do it. We'll get into some actual weights later. Well guys, there's no reviews on this tent on YouTube at all. The only video is a promotion video from Pomoly themselves. So, like I said, we're going to get into this and we're going to look at the tent. Alright, let's get into this bag. Nice clips. So that would be the inner tent. It comes like that, separate from this. But I said, like I showed you, you can jam it in here and zip it up. So that's pretty good. You don't always have to carry that, but it'll fit in here if you have to. There's still ample room in this bag for other things if you need to put anything else in here. So that's the tent itself. They give you a nice strap to wrap it back up with. Let's see what the pegs look like. Not the longest pegs. They're probably about 6 inches long. You got the good pull string on the end of it. It's reflective as well, so you can see it. Not sure how well they would do in winter time. You might have to cut some sticks to use as anchors, but robust. They are aluminum, but obviously not that long. And there's the poles. Let's take that out and take a look at them. Yeah, nice pole as usual from Pomoly. Yeah, I like that. Spring corded. And there's the tent. Now we'll roll this out and see what it looks like. Well, it's a gorgeous day to be doing this, so let's get to it. I don't know how well the pegs are going to go into this dirt here, but hopefully we can get them down enough to hold the tent. And it's like a blue color, not fitting for my channel, Blue Tube Bushcraft and Outdoors. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a small teepee tent for sure. Definitely, I would say a one man with the stove in it. Anyway, we'll get this thing pegged down and we'll get the pole in and we'll see what it looks like when it's actually up. These aren't going to go in far. Beat the hell out of my pegs too. Good thing it's not windy, so easy to set up even with the minimal peg length in the ground. Now, since this is a small teepee tent, there's only one door and it's right here. So I'm going to open that and we'll put the pole in. Alright, so I got the door zipped up. So it's a short corded pole. Okay. Now let's see if we got enough room in here to put this up, or it's pegged already. There's a nice reinforced cap here to put the pole into. Well, looks like we'll have to loosen it up a little bit and we'll put it up. It's always the starting fresh like that, you gotta learn the tricks of it. So obviously I had the pegs too tight. So let's fix that and we'll get it up. Well, I got it set up. There's a little bit of trial and error. It's not perfect because the ground's not level here. And the other unfortunate thing with this tent, it doesn't have a snow skirt. I wish it did. I mean, you could pile up snow when you have enough, but I wish it did have a skirt on it. But it's definitely going to be a small tent, perfect for one man. Alright, let's get the rest of this done. Well, I got the typical teepee shape. I put the pole up a little bit straighter and now it's like perfect. Like I said, in the winter you can put snow around it. And like I said, this is not level, so those big gaps, it wouldn't have that if you were on more level ground. But I wanted to set this up in a more open area so you could get a good look around it and see what it looks like. So here we have the stove jack. These are waterproof zippers. Roll this up. And you always want to get this as tight as possible up against the tent, because if it waves in the wind it could hit the hot stovepipe and melt it. But Pomoly's gotten smarter over the years where they put it up above this itself, so it's not as close to the pipe as it could be, so that's a good thing. Good on Pomoly for recognizing that. There we go. So I'll have to cut my hole for that. And it looks like this one is permanently in there by the looks of it. That's kind of a drawback, but it does have Velcro here to put a new one on if you need it. So what I like to do is take one of the stovepipe rings and trace a circle there to cut out. I like to keep it kind of tight. I've never had any of mine burn. They discolor a little bit, but nothing worse than that. So I got the circle traced. I put it a little bit to the bottom so that it's not really close to the top portion of the tent where it could just blow into the pipe. So I offset it down a little bit. I just took my scissors and I made an X, and then I just cut the pieces of the ply out, and you get a perfect round circle. Pomoly's gotten really good at reinforcing stress points. I believe it's Dyneema. They have it here on all the pegs, and they have it on the top where the pole is, so there's no like chafing or wear when the tent's blowing around in the wind, so it'll last a long time. Well, here's all the guy lines for the tent. I wish these parts were metal, but they're not, but I've had no issues with my other tents from Pomoly that have those, so we'll put those on with a simple bowline. There you go, simple bowline. So there's 6 guy lines all around the tent, more than sufficient enough to keep this thing from blowing around in the wind. That's really good, because these things will rock in the wind quite a bit. And there's 2 other guy lines with it, but I believe those are for the door, because the door can zip open and then you can make it like a canopy. So these are probably for holding like either your hiking poles, or if you bought some other poles that could, like tent poles that can actually go in those grommets that are on the door. So that's probably what these are for holding the flap up in the front, the extra 2. Alright, let's see if we can figure out this last piece of the puzzle. These inner liners are always fun. I know for my Pomoly Dome X6 Pro, I had to put little pieces of string to mark it to where it goes, because it's almost like it was for different tents, because it looks like it can connect it to different places, but it's tricky at first. But if you tie a piece of string on one corner, you can line it up easily and set it up. But hopefully this one's not like the X6. Anyway, we'll see. Alright, let's see what's in here. This is a greenhorn setup. Pomoly never seems to have good directions with their stuff, or actually don't give any pretty much at all. So for a newbie, that would be kind of hard. There's the mesh. Alright, I'm going to figure this out and I'll show you in a sec. Hey guys, instead of pulling all the pegs out and that and bashing my pegs up anymore with rocks, I thought I'd just show it to you this way. There's a pouch kind of like our slot at the top that would go on the pole inside, and then you have the floor, and then you have the mesh here and a door. My assumption is there's no burn resistant pad on this floor, and the size of this tent inside, my assumption is this is only for like good weather use, or like summer, spring, what have you, where you're not going to use the stove. So I thought I'd just show you this way. If you want to see it set up, let me know, put it in the comments. So guys, I'll go over a couple of particulars on this. It's the Pomoly Hussar 20. It's a solo Tipi tent in smoke blue. I bought the half inner liner as extra, but it comes with the center pole, the pegs, guy lines, and the stove jack built into it, which it looks like you can replace it because it has Velcro on the edges. Now this tent has waterproof zippers, a rating of PU 2000 millimeters for water repellency. All the seams are heat taped and waterproof. They've had issues in some of their tents before, but they seem to always rectify it after public opinion and that, and so that's good on Pomoly for doing that. The aluminum pole in the middle is 7001 aluminum alloy, and the pegs are 7075 aluminum alloy at 7.1 inches long. Dimensions on this tent are 52 square feet. The inner liner is 25.3 square feet. The height is claimed to be 5.25 feet at 3.5 pounds. The inner is 2.2 pounds for a grand total of 5.7 pounds. So as a Canadian and Nova Scotia tax of 15%, what did I pay for this tent? So it was on for the sale there for Black Friday. So I got it for $251.34 Canadian. There was $32.67 shipping, which that came to $284.02. And the duty on this was $50.31, so $50.31, and a grand total of $334.33 in all. Yeah, not cheap. Obviously UPS rips you off, and then you got to pay duty on that as well, so you kind of get screwed on that. But I mean, the tents are quality, it's just you're going to pay for it. So what is nice is there's ventilation at the top for in the summer, or if you want to let some heat out or moisture out if you were cooking inside. There's one vent here, and there's another vent here. The vents are easy to operate. You just take the Velcro off there, you bring the pole out. There you go, you got fresh air to come in here, or heat to get out if you want to release some heat and moisture. And again, put the pole up, flap the Velcro back down, it's closed. So there is indeed a lantern hanger. It's right here. Little hook on it, so you can hang your light on that. Now this Tipi tent is very simplistic. Like I said, there's no skirt on it. There's no interior pockets to put anything in. This is very minimalistic, I should say, for a Tipi tent. You know, but for quick and dirty setup on the quad, or if you want to backpack in it, because this tent like is like, what was it, 5.2 I think pounds in total. I think that was with the inner liner actually. Anyway, you could backpack it in, and that little stove I got, which is very light as well compared to my other two Pomoly stoves, you could effectively backpack this all in. I backpacked this up the road to get in here, and it wasn't that bad. Now granted, I didn't have any of my other supplies of cooking stuff and things like that, but it's manageable. I think if you're backcountry hiking or camping, it wouldn't be much different in weight with that, so it's feasible. You know, I can, you know, move in here. I'll show you some shots of me just laying on the ground here, and you can kind of see how much room there is and where I could be laying with the stove if it's set up in here. The stove would be obviously right here, and I've got no problem. I don't know if you could fit a cot. Yeah, you could probably fit a cot in here. You'd be up higher next to the walls, but you know, if you're laying down, there's more than enough room. I can shove back a little further. Yeah, there's more than enough room for me. I'm 5'10". Even a 6-foot guy could sleep in here easily. Yeah, could you get 2 people in here? Yeah, it'd be really tight. This is I would say for sure a solo man teepee. Summertime without the stove, yeah, you could get 2 people in here. Your gear wouldn't fit in here too well, but you could manage it in the summertime. But with the stove in here, unless you have like you know, your kid goes with you, your kid could sleep over this side here. But yeah, for 2 adults it'd be pretty tight. Hey guys, just want to take a quick break here and say thank you to the 1,000 subscribers. I made it, and I'm there now. Thanks for all those who supported me and stood by me through all this, and it's great. You know, it's not for the money. You know, if I do make any money out of this, I'm just going to put it back into the channel and help myself with my PTSD and help others as well. And people can watch through my lens if they can't get out in the woods anymore. So keep watching, there's more to come. I'm not going to set the whole stove up, but I thought I'd show you what this Pomoly 0.6mm Ti stove looks like in here. But, I mean, I can always move it, switch it either way here, or lay on that side by the door. So you could rotate the stove. This stove has the glass on this side, so potentially there's enough room here, clearance, that I could easily put the stove like that, have a nice glow of the fire coming out towards the camera, that side of the tent, and I could easily fill it here. Now you'd have to watch it rolling into it, I guess, but you could potentially have it like that and load it at night, sleep on this side of it like this way. So yeah, that's a nice size stove for this Tipi tent. It's not very big. You've seen it in the first part of the video. So yeah, I think that size stove is perfect for this tent. Well guys, what do I think of the Pomoly Hot Tent 20? I like it. It's minimalistic. There's not much to it. It was a little tricky at first getting the base done, set up here with the pegs and getting the pole up. But again, it's on
slope here as well in this rocky soil. I pounded the crap out of the pegs there and marred the tops all up. Whatever, it's going to happen anyway. I wish it had snow skirts. That bothers me because it'd be so much easier to just, you know, keep the heat in, put some snow on the flaps. But unfortunately, this one doesn't come with the flaps, so the snow skirt. So besides that, I like it. It's got venting on the top. It's light. You could use it for backpacking. So all in all, I do like it. You're going to see it in the field, and we'll see how it works out in the future here, and see if I really like it or not. Yeah, it's small, compact, and easy to take with you. Well guys, this ends my review of the Pomoly Hussar 20. Anyway, as I always say, Blue Sea out, live off the land. Please like and subscribe.